Basement Collective fans. Stay tuned as we do another army showcase. Today we have something special for you guys. We have Irvin's Demon Army. So we're going to go through the army, show you what I have, tell you my hopes and dreams for the army, and go from there. Of course, we're not going to do a hand cam because my hand's not very steady, so we'll put it on a tripod and go from there. But stay tuned for that, and thank you very much for watching. Let's get right to it. Again, thank you very much for checking out another Basement Collective video, guys. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video to see the last giveaway winner, and that's for the Basement Collective dice bag. And please leave a comment below to be entered into the new giveaway, and that's going to be for a Basement Collective objective set. This is 3D printed from our buddy at Piazza Production, and it's going to be acrylic and it's going to be painted tokens. So make sure you leave a comment below. It could be your thoughts on my army, what you like about the army, where I should go with the army, or any comment at all to be entered into the giveaway. That's all you have to be, and we would appreciate any subscribers or likes on this video. So let's go ahead and check with the army. So a history of the army. I haven't been a demon player for very long at all. I would say I probably started playing demons maybe 8 months ago or so, maybe less. A bit of backstory on how I got this army. I actually had a fully painted Tomb King army for Age of Sigmar, and that was probably, if you're looking points value, maybe 4,000 points or so of Tomb Kings I had, but it was all painted and it was all OOP models from GW. My buddy Brandon actually originally owned that Tomb King army. He traded it into our local store, and I bought it from our local store. And what he did with the money he traded in for the army, he actually started a demon army you see before you. So he played demons and he gave it a whirl both in Age of Sigmar and 40k, and he realized demons weren't for him, wasn't his play style. He was trying to force himself to like demons. So he bought all the new models. He bought Scarbrand, he bought the new Bloodthirster, bought the new Lord of Change, and he's trying to force himself to like a demon army. It's not that he didn't like the models, he just didn't like the play style. So he was over at my house one night talking to Kevin, and Brandon's like, maybe Irvin will want to trade me the Tomb Kings for my demons. Kevin called me at work and I decided to do it. Not that I didn't like the Tomb Kings, I really did like the Tomb Kings, but I traded him for a few reasons. The most pressing reason was because Games Workshop no longer supported them as an army. They don't release the models for Warhammer anymore. They won't be releasing any rules. They're just going to get carried over by getting points in the General's Handbook. And not even in the General's Handbook, in a compendium attachment to the book. Another thing is the good stuff in the army, because they were probably one of the top tier armies in Age of Sigmar. Went up in 50% points wise. So they weren't supported anymore. They're more expensive to take in the game. And I decided why not. Now the pros of demons for me, of course, it's a multi-system game, so Age of Sigmar or 40k. It's super supported. Of course, they come out of many codexes and rules, and it was a new army for me to try. So that's how I started demons. Now I got the demon army from Brandon. It was all unpainted, all just primed gray, except for the 60 Pike Bears that Brandon painted himself. So that's a bit of the history on how I got the demon army. I actually didn't add many models to it. The only models I added to it were, I think, Nerglings. Actually, he had Nerglings, but we'll get into the Nerglings, and then I added Blues and Brims. That's all I added to this. So everything else came from Brandon originally. And just remember that 8 months ago, this whole table was unpainted, except for the 60 Pike Bears. So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to go through each god individually. I'm going to let you know who I paid to paint the army, who were commissioned. Because of course I did not paint much of this. I painted a few things, but to have this amount of models painted in the short time frame I did, it'd be hard for many people to do it unless you're a full-time commission painter. But we're going to go through each god individually. I'll let you know who painted it, and my thoughts on the army, and where I plan to go further for that specific god. Let's start off with Nergal. Of course, probably my favorite demon faction, just because of the rules-wise in the game, and the models are pretty cool looking as well. So I would say Nergal's probably my biggest faction I have right now. I'm actually playing them, Nergal Demon models, in a local competitive tournament coming up. I'm playing a bunch of Demon Princes at the Beer and Pretzels Open, run by some local guys. So I'm excited to play in there. But let's start with the army. So, for my Nergal army, I have 18 bases of Nerglings. Now, Brandon actually originally gave me 15 bases of the new Nerglings, the piles. And I was going to get those painted, and there's nothing wrong with the models at all. But I went down to the capital city Bloodbath, and that's held in Ottawa. And we stopped at a few game stores on the way, and we made a little road trip of it. And we found a local gaming store in one of the cities we visited, because we went to multiple places. And they had some of these original Nerglings here. Now let's see if I can get the camera to focus here. There we go. So these guys. So these are the original, probably the original Nerglings, and they come in boxes. They have 8 of them, and it's 8 random dudes, and they're pretty cool looking. So I decided, hey, let's go ahead and get these guys. So I got them for a sick deal. These on eBay sell between $10 and $20 each for one blister of 8. I got 8 blisters worth for only 20 Canadian. So I said, sweet, let's get those done up. And I sold my regular Nurgling bases, and I got these guys. So that is my Nurglings, and we'll go through at the end, sorry, and see who painted them. Behind the 18 Nurglings, we have 60 Pike Bears, just a run-of-the-mill Pike Bears, nothing special about them. And again, those are the only models that were painted when I bought the army. They're okay to a tabletop standard. Of course, this whole army is just a tabletop standard. It's nothing too crazy. I told the painters I just want a painted army. Don't worry about top level. Just get me to tabletop because I want to play them on the table, of course. Because I hate playing unpainted models. Behind the Plague Bearers, we got 3 Heralds, 2 GW Heralds, and the Forged Herald that comes in the dual kit. Behind them, we got some converted Harpies. So these are, there you go. You can see them there. These are Plague Bear bodies with, Harpies with the Gargoyle wings from GW. So those are pretty cool. So we got 10 of those. We got the 6 4-year-old Plague Toads, 6 Plague Drones. And then behind all of them, let me see if we can go back here. We got our big guy section. Let me zoom in here. So for the big guy section, we got, there we go, 3 Flying Demon Princes. Now we got the GW Demon Prince, the 4-year-old Demon Prince, and we got a Dreamforge Nergal Demon Prince, and they all have Plague Drone wings as wings for them, so I use them as Flying Demon Princes. And then what else do I got back there? I got a Glotkin here. Let me show you him. Now I'm using him as a Great Unclean One, a local guy. I took the riders off and I got him to convert it up to put he put an extra layer of flesh there to make him look cool. But yeah, so I'm using him as a Great Unclean One. And right in front of him, I'm not sure if you can tell, but let me zoom in a bit more here. We have a regular Greater Unclean One. So that's the old GW one. And hopefully he'll be getting a new model soon. But I'm not holding my breath on that. Maybe when the Demons Codex come out, which we'll talk about later. I got a 4-year-old Plague Hulk back there. And I got Epidemius and the 4-year-old Great Unclean One right there, Scabbythrax. Haven't used him as Scabbythrax in the game yet. Just a Great Unclean One because I don't feel the points that Scabbythrax cost it as compared to the Super Chicken. So I'm going to take the camera off the tripod, sort of be a bit shaky, and give you a close-up of a few of the models and explain who painted them. So here we go, close-up of the Nergal army. So again, like stated a few times, the Plague Bears were painted by the guy I got the army from, a good friend of mine, buddy, Brandon. These guys, the Nerglings, were painted by Diogo Pita. He's a friend, he's a local competitive, well not local, but he's a competitive player in Ontario. And most of the events we go to in Ontario that have the competitive nature, he's there. Right now he's rocking Gilliman and the Razorbacks. But he was a Necron player for the longest time, but he's a good buddy of ours and gave me a good deal on him, so make sure you check him out. And he painted the Nerglings as well as other things we'll show you later on. The Heralds, right here is one. Again, I'm sorry for the shaky. And there's another Herald right there. There's a 4-year-old Herald. And a 3rd Herald right there hiding behind the Pike Bear banner. Those were actually painted by me. One of the few things I painted in this army. So I'm not proud. I'm proud of what I've done for this army. And then behind them, of course, we got the Plague Toads. And the Plague Toads were also painted by me. So not too shabby. And then the Plague Drones, again, also painted by me. So I did paint a good portion of the Nergal army. And then we got Horticulus Slimix. That was painted by a local painter in our city, Taylor Holloway. And he's a great guy, does some good work, and he's not that expensive, so make sure, again, you check him out. The Greater Unclean one right there, painted by me. That Flying Demon Prince, painted by me. And these 2 Flying Demon Princes were also painted by Taylor. The Greater Unclean one back there, painted by me. Again, I'm pretty proud of that one. And then the Plague Hulk, painted by Taylor, as well as the Glutkin, painted by Taylor. So that is my Nergal army. What I would like to add to this army, I pretty much got everything from the Nergal part of the It Codex. I do have a Greater Unclean one coming in from Creature Caster. And that was the, what was the name of it again, Kev? Glutton Demon, his big guy. We've seen Kenny Boucher painted up on live on stream, as well as Key Lime Prime. They've both painted it on Twitch streams. And who will be added to my army? I'm not going to paint him. I want him to get proper justice done, so I will find a commission painter for that. But yeah, so I got everything the Demon Codex has to offer for Nergal demons. I'm hoping they release a Greater Unclean one from GW, because he currently has only 12 wounds compared to the Lord of Change and the Bloodthirster, who have 16. And he should have the most wounds out of all of them, so I'm hoping he gets a new model and updated rules. But other than that, I am super happy with my demon section. So I'm going to add those 2 new Greater Unclean ones, the Creature Caster and the GW one if they release it. And of course, if they add any new Nergal stuff, I'll add them. But that is the Nergal section. On to Khorne, Blood for the Blood God. So let's just quickly go over what I got for Khorne. I got 60 Bloodletters here. Behind him, I have some corn dogs. What are they called again? Flesh Hounds, that's the name I'm looking for. That's behind them. And then on the other side, we have some Blood Crushers, which actually, the Blood Crushers did good. I recently went to a charity tournament called Mike Mudd Memorial, and I was surprised the damage they put out against orcs and things like that. Now, they do die really easily because they only have a 4-up armor save and a 5-up invul, but they did surprisingly well. I couldn't say too much bad things about them from that tournament performance. And right back there, I'm not sure if we could see him here, but when I get the camera off the tripod, we'll be able to. But right in the middle there is Skull Taker. And behind Skull Taker, we got 3 Khorne Skull Cannons, I think they're called. And then, let's go to the big guys. We have Scarbrand, of course. He's a really cool model. He has really sick fluff behind him. A Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster. And a Balrog that's painted up to be just a Khorne Demon Prince. Probably one of GW's early models, one of the first plastic models with that big of a model. But one of the most sought after models for, it's not, you could tell it's a really old model, but it's very popular with many gamers just because of the history behind the model, and it makes a Khorne Demon Prince look great. So, let's go take a closer look at them. And here we go, Blood for the Blood God, the Khorne close-up shots. So here's the Bloodlighters, here's the Blood Crushers, the puppies, the 3 Skull Cannons. Here is the Balrog that I use just as a flying Demon Prince of Khorne, Scarbrand, and the Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster. Again, all painted by my buddy Adam from Killing Time Painting. He's a great guy. He's Canadian, so it's cheaper for us Canadian bros that need to get some cheap shipping and in our currency, which is great. Make sure you check him out. He's on Twitch a lot of time. He doesn't do live streaming, but he's always active in the creative section commenting. So make sure you check them out. For my corn, I got mostly everything. Oh, I also forgot to mention, this guy right here is the Herald on Berserker. Now, he's metal, so I got metal models. So let's go ahead and see what we want to do with this. I would like to get more dogs, of course. What I'm missing Karanak, which is the character dog, and I'm missing an on-foot Herald. And I don't have any blood thrones, so of course I would like to add those to the army just to say I have the whole codex. What I would like to add, of course, I would like to add more dogs and Karanak just to have that fun. I would also like to replace the metal Herald I got with a plastic or fine cast one, but that's just dreaming after I have everything else I want. But that's the corn. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. Unfortunately, corn's not very good this edition, this index. So hopefully the codex makes them better and usable in a game. Out of all the gods, I would probably say corn's unfortunately the worst, play style wise. But that is the corn army. And for the Tzeentchian bros, I have 30 brims, 30 blues, 60 pinks. I got 5 screamers back there. Let's zoom in and check those out. 5 screamers. I have over to this side the changeling into the old skull, but it's still a great model. I have no complaints about that. I have 1 Herald on this side, and then behind him I have the old Lord of Change fine cast model that I will be using as a flying demon prince of Tzeentch. I have 1 exalted flamer, the new Lord of Change, and then just a flying demon prince from Tzeentch. So that is what I got for my Tzeentch models. Let's go take a closer look. So just a closer look at the foot infantry. These are, again, I want to emphasize everything's only tabletop standard. That's all I asked for my painters. I didn't ask for showcase level. I said I want tabletop standard. I wanted to get the army complete and not be too out of pocket on them, because it was a big investment to get everything to tabletop to the size of the army. But here are the brims and the blues, and these were painted again by Diogo. Here are the pinks and here are the pinks and the screamers. Now, majority of this Tzeentch army was actually painted by David from Perpetual Painting. Again, another guy that's active on Twitch in the community. He doesn't stream, but he's always there hanging out. So make sure you check him out. He actually is doing a lot of projects for us. He is painting Kevin's Harlequin army. He is painting a Free Blade army for me. So he's doing quite a bit of work. His communications is excellent. He always provides you pictures, and his prices are great. He is in the States, so anybody in the States, check him out. So that is that. Here is the Herald and the Changeling. This Demon Prince, I mean, it's not too well painted. It also doesn't match 100% of this game, but I bought it painted for like 15 bucks from a local store. Put a bit of paint on it to fix it up, and then looks okay, and just another Demon Prince. The Lord of Change was actually painted by Wyatt at Jacka Club Painting. Again, another good friend of ours. He is a streamer. Make sure you check him on Twitch. But he painted the Lord of Change. Just a side note here, David, along with these guys, also painted my Tzeentch Arcanites for Age of Sigmar. They're not in the shot, but I have 30 Zangors painted by him, Orgud Thaumaturge, a Gaunt Summoner, 9 Skyfires, and a Shaman. All painted in roughly the same scheme, but this is a video just of the demon section. I may do a separate video on them separately, but again, it's and they're all based in the same scheme. I actually did the basing myself. All 401 models, if you include those guys. If you're just talking about the demons, we're looking about 370. But that is the Tzeentch. Looking into what I want in the Tzeentch, David actually currently has 5 more Screamers for me, as well as a Herald on disc to paint up to match these. I need Flamers, of course. I need some Chariots, Exalted Flamer Chariots and Herald Chariots. But other than that, I got a pretty good grasp here. Oh, and I also want to get a Fate Weaver, of course, because I just have the Lord of Change. But that's a big endeavor. It's pretty expensive, so we'll look into that future. These guys, of course, are the hotness right now for demons. What's everybody's running with magnets, of course. I'm playing my demons as straight demons only. I don't want to add any Heretic Astartes units. So I'm just a mono demon player without adding any support from anything else. Hopefully, It'll be a lot better when I run the demons. Actually, demons aren't bad right now. If you're running Tzeentch or Nergal, they could do okay. Of course, if you add Mortarion or you add in Magnus, they get a lot better. But that is the Tzeentch section of the Demon Army. The Undivided section, a whole 2 models. Of course, you can't start without Be'lakor, the first Demon Prince. He's also pretty good in the game. And just an undivided Soul Grinder. These guys were painted up by a local painter named Gary. Last but not least, well, technically the least, because it's the smallest faction I got of all the 4 gods, but we have my Slaanesh. So starting off the Slaanesh, we have 40 Demonettes, 10 Seekers, the Mask of Slaanesh, the Old Keeper of Secrets, a Flying Demon Prince, an Exalted Seeker Chariot, and a regular Seeker Chariot. Let's go check them out. This whole army was painted by Anna from Pixie Dust Studio, another person I met on the Twitch creative platform. So she painted the whole army and it looks really great. I like what she's done with the multicolored hair on everything. So that is the Demonettes. We'll go check out the Seekers. We got the Mask in there, Flying Demon Prince, Keeper of Secrets, and the Chariots. I liked what she's done with the purples, the multicolored. It's a great looking army. So for Slaanesh, of course, my smallest amount of models in a god army for demons. I do have a Keeper Secrets coming in from Creature Caster, the Pincer Demon one. So this guy's going to be delegated to an on-foot Demon Prince for this Slaanesh because he just does not fit in with the other greater demons I have. I would like to, of course, I need Fiends. I don't have Fiends. I need this chariot. You could turn it into, it's like a big mower, forget the name of it. I want to get that. And I need a Herald. But that is my Slaanesh army. Hopefully GW does something with them. I know they're trying to change. In Age of Sigmar they took him out. But I don't think they're dropping him. But hopefully in the Codex they get some love. So let me put the camera back in the tripod. I'm getting shaky here, as always. And give you some final thoughts. So I hope you guys did like just a quick overview of my demon army. Make sure you check out our Facebook page, The Basement Collective on Facebook, for some pictures of everything that we set up today. I do have to give one more shout out here. I mentioned everybody that painted my army, and I would work with every single one of them again. I'm excited to again expand what I explained to you, but just to see what the Demon Codex has for us in the future. Again, the shout out I need to mention is I did all the basing myself because I feel a cohesive basing brings the army together. Even though it's different paint schemes, it's all based the same. They look good. And my basings just simply make sure the base is black, and then you put Astral Granite from GW on it, wash it with blue, dry brush it with a baby blue, and then that is the basing. On top of that, just to differentiate between the gods, but still keep a cohesive basing scheme, I use Shadow's Edge Mini Tufts for everything in the army. 410 models again, if I'm including my Tzeentch Arcanauts, 370 models just the demons. I went through a ton of their Tufts, and I have nothing but good things to say about the Tufts. They didn't send me Tufts for free to use. I said, hey, I want to use your Tufts. They said, sure, order our Tufts. And I really loved them. So everybody in the army has their just basic bright green, I forget the name of it, but Tufts. And then each god has its own specific colored flowers. So I used purple for Slaanesh, blue for Tzeentch, red for Khorne, and I used yellow for Nergal just because you don't really want green flowers. They wouldn't really stand out, so I used yellow. So make sure you check them out. That's Shadow's Edge Minis. Their Tufts are amazing. You don't even need to use glue to apply the Tufts to the base. The adhesive they use, they come off the wax paper, they come on really easily, and they attach to the base, and they don't come off. So this isn't without glue or anything. So again, I'm just lifting this demon up by the tuft, and nothing's falling. Here, let's see if you can get the purple in there. So that's the purple flower. So not everybody likes the idea of the flowers. because I mean it's like chaos who was supposed to be these dark gods running through like a happy little flower forest. But I don't mind it. Or I also used white for Undivided just because that's a color good. So make sure you check out Shadow's Edge Minis for that. They offer a wide range of tufts, different sizes, different packs. Great guys to work with. But thank you very much for checking out this video, guys. I do appreciate it. Make sure you stay tuned. We showed you my Knight Space Wolf army, what I plan to go in my Space House forward. Of course, we have a bunch of other armies in the Basement Collective basement, and we're going to be showing you all of them. So make sure you stick around for that. Leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. And of course, guys, keep on wargaming.
And very quickly, we have the drawing for the winner from the previous giveaway. This week, we have Matthew Higdon winning with the comment you see on screen. To be entered for the next giveaway, simply comment below or reply to one of the comments below, and we will draw somebody at random and we'll ship it to you anywhere in the world for free. This week, we are giving away custom acrylic laser cut objective markers. So as always, thank you for watching, guys, and keep on wargaming.